Hey everyone, these are my pickups from January, February, and March. And I've got a lot of cool things to share, so let's get started. Okay, in February, I got a PlayStation 3. I already had a PlayStation 3, but I got this one solely to mod it. And it's a lot of fun. It's a little bit harder than previous systems I've modded, trying to get things to work right and get games on there. Now that project was cut short because shortly after I got the PlayStation 3, I was gifted a PlayStation 5, which I was so excited about. It just came out of the blue. My boyfriend got it for me from Costco, just for no other reason than just to get it for me. It's awesome. I love the PlayStation 5. I was holding off on getting one because so many games were still coming out for PlayStation 4. But now that's kind of drying up, and you know, since I've had the console now for a couple months, I love it. It's really great. So of course, after getting a PlayStation 5, I had to get PlayStation 5 games. So that's what we're gonna start with today. We have Returnal. This game was incredible. If you're a fan of Housemarque games, their older arcade games, you're going to love this. I love Super Stardust and Resogun, on and on. Pretty much all of their games. And this game was exceptional. It's a roguelike. Levels change each time, but then the levels are the same. How can I explain that? It's like you have the same set of levels, but they're just in a different order each time, basically. So you do get used to the level design, but not in which order, so that kind of keeps it fresh. I loved it, I beat it. I'll talk more about it in a later video too. We also have Fate Samurai Remnant. I don't know much about this. I think this is an anime/manga property. I played the demo and I thought it was really cool. I guess it's a Muso type game, which I'm not a huge fan of, but this one, playing the demo, it sold me on it, so I grabbed it. These next two I bought before I even had a PlayStation 5 because they were on such a incredible sale. I've got Marvel's Midnight Suns, which I understand is like a tactical strategy game using the more witchy Marvel characters, and for some reason Wolverine and Spider-Man and Iron Man is in there. And this game, Forspoken, I know a lot of people don't like that game. I thought it was okay. I've only played a little bit of it.
Not like I wanted to get caught stealing the car, but here we are.
Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life. A remake of a GameCube game that I loved. I loved playing that game, A Wonderful Life, on GameCube. I'm just a little ways into it. It seems pretty cool. All the characters are there. I think maybe there's a couple extra, possibly. I never understood the Story of Seasons change. I guess the developers it used to be called Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life, and I guess that those developers split off and became Story of Seasons. I don't know. And lastly, on PlayStation 5, we have Yohane the Parhelion, Numazu in the Mirage. I love this game, and it might sound silly if you've never heard of it, or even if you've played it, but I feel like it's going to be my game of the year. It's a deck builder, which I've never really played before. I've heard about them with Slay the Spire. I've read a lot about how great that game is. The only thing about that game is its art style really turned me off. I could not get into the art style, so much so that I just never even gave it a chance, even though frequently it's very cheap. But this game, the art style is so cute and cartoony and anime and beautiful, really, cel-shaded. So I don't know if this means I love the deck building genre or just this game. Man, it's awesome. I've gotten every trophy, I've beaten the game. I'm still playing it, trying to unlock all the unlockables through the game. So yeah, it's just an incredible game that just came out of nowhere for me. I imported the Japanese physical version so I could have a physical copy. It's great. I highly recommend it. Check it out. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention there is a demo on the PlayStation Store, and that's how I found out about it. I've never even heard of Yohane or her Parhelion, so check out the demo, see what you think for yourself. Okay, next we're gonna go with Switch pickups, and I've got a few. This is Another Code Recollection. And now these are remakes from the DS games, 3DS games. I don't know much about them. Again, I played the demo on Switch and it sold me. It seemed like a nice sort of quiet mystery adventure game. And I love those, so gonna check that out. I was watching Steph's 2 Def, and by the way, if you're not subscribed to Steph's 2 Def, you should go do that right now. I was watching her Switch collection video and she talked about Code of Princess EX. And I knew about this game on the 3DS, and I think nowadays the prices for that go for really high. But this one they still have on the Nicholas website for sale. So I went out and grabbed a copy. I still haven't opened it yet, but I'm really excited to play that. It's a side-scrolling beat 'em up basically. Looks really cool. And I've wanted this game for a while. This is Kamiwaza Way of the Thief for Switch. I have Kamiwaza on the PlayStation 4, but I wanted it on the Switch to play in handheld. It's a PlayStation 2 game that they remastered. I believe it's in the Way of the Samurai series. So it's got that kind of wacky, fun energy to it, set in ancient Japan. Pick it up. I got this game when it went on sale, and this is Rhapsody, the Marl Kingdom Chronicles. These are 2 sequels to the Rhapsody game on the PlayStation 1. We never had these sequels here before in America, as far as I know. They were Japan only, and so they've been localized now, and they're on Switch and I believe PlayStation 5. I have Rhapsody 1 on the Prinny collection, which I'm excited to play through this whole series. It seems like a really cool sort of lightweight RPG, which is totally what I'm into. Okay, now we're into PlayStation 4. Under the Waves. This is an interesting game. Quantic Dream had a hand in producing it or developing it. I'm not sure what they did, but their name is on it. It's an underwater adventure game with strong themes of healing from grief and environmentalism, isolation. It's about a man who goes back down under the sea to live and work, and I don't want to give away too much more than that because the story kind of unfolds. I played through it all, I beat it. It was okay. The swimming mechanics and stuff I thought could have been better and a little more fun. Sometimes it felt like a slog to swim, and that's kind of how you traverse the game basically. So anyway, I don't highly recommend it, but if you're a fan of like underwater games like Endless Ocean and stuff like that, you would like it probably. I would say give it a try. Trek to Yomi. I got this from a recommendation from Scott from Retro Rivals. The visual style of this game is incredible. It looks like you're playing in an old black and white Kurosawa film. You're a samurai trying to track down the bandits that have destroyed your village or killed your father or any number of things. This is Dodonpachi Daioju Reincarnation. That's a mouthful. This is of course a cave developed shooter. I haven't played this game yet, but I am super excited to. I imported that from PlayAsia and I can't wait to give it a shot. Devil May Cry collection. Now this, I have to be honest, I just threw into my PlayAsia order so I could get free shipping. It was very cheap. I've never played a Devil May Cry game, but I know it has its fans and they talk about it like it's some of the greatest action games ever made, so I'll give it a shot someday. And finally on the PlayStation 4, we have UFO Robot Grindizer, The Feast of the Wolves. For someone somewhere out there, this is their dream game come true. I don't know much about this except it's based on a 70s anime that I guess it showed in America, but I think it was really popular in other parts of the world. In France maybe, I don't know. I'll be honest, the game plays a little janky. It's a little off, but it's so charming. The style, the music, the visual style, the story, the voice acting. It's all pretty charming. So I will say it got a little monotonous towards the end. If the combat was better and more fun, I don't think it would have gotten as monotonous as it was, simply because just of how charming it was. They should have gotten Platinum Games in there to do the combat.
These UFOs are making my son nervous.
Okay, PlayStation 3 games. We have Under Defeat HD for the PlayStation 3. It was just announced that Under Defeat is coming to modern consoles, which I think is really cool. I hope it gets a physical edition as well. I believe it was originally on the Dreamcast, although it was probably ported from the arcade. At first, it might not seem like the most fun shoot 'em up, but I promise you, if you have a friend to play it with, it is so much fun. That is how I played it. We played it through all the way back in the Dreamcast days and had a blast doing it. So get yourself a friend who loves shmups and play Under Defeat when it comes out. Next we have Way of the Samurai 4. I've never played this. I love the Way of the Samurai series, but I've never played part 4. Partially because the physical version never had a release in North America. This is the European version. So I'm super excited to play this on my modded PlayStation 3. Okay, another game that never got a physical release for the PlayStation 3 here in America is Battle Fantasia. This is an Arc Systems Work fighter. It's so cool. It has like the visual style of the old Capcom Dungeons and Dragons games. For some reason, it never got a physical release here on PlayStation 3 in America. It did get a Xbox 360 version, physical version for some reason. So that's the Japanese version. And the game itself is okay. I think I like it more stylistically and visually than gameplay wise. It's not the best fighter. And finally on PlayStation 3, we have EX Troopers. Again, this never got a physical release here in America on PlayStation 3, but it did in Japan. And I believe it's a spin-off of their Lost Planet series. I remember playing the Japanese demo way back when on the PlayStation 3 and enjoying it. And so now I found a cheap used copy of it online, so I grabbed it. Okay, unfortunately we don't have any PlayStation 2 games, but now onto the PlayStation 1 games. Super Puzzle Fighter 2. I don't know if you know this or not, but I like falling block puzzle games, and this is one of the best. Again, it really shines when you have a friend to play it with, especially if you have a bunch of friends and you can take turns on, tournaments and stuff like that. Anyway, as the name suggests, it's a puzzle game that uses Capcom characters fighting against each other, but they fight with their puzzle skills. Go pick this up. It's currently available on all systems through the Capcom Arcade Classics. It's also on the Capcom Fighting Collection. Go search it out. It's really cheap. Go buy it and play it and love it. Right, this is Card Captor Sakura Animatic Story Game Volume 1 or 2, I don't know. I stumbled upon that game because there was a fan translation that recently released. I put it on my handheld emulator and I would play it at night before I went to sleep. It's a really easygoing game with lots of mini games and a silly story. So there were no stakes as I was falling asleep. It didn't matter if I fell asleep and forgot to save or whatever. So I really enjoyed my time. It was just a cute, fun game, and when I saw a copy of it for very cheap online, I picked it up. Okay, that's all for games, but I do have a few little collectibles here. This is Mendez from Resident Evil 4. Krauser from Resident Evil 4 with a very bendy knife. Looks like it's melting. These are cool little figures. Next I want to get Leon. He goes for a little bit more than they do. Dimitri from Darkstalkers. I'm pretty sure this is a capsule toy. Are they called Gachapon? Pretty sure that's what he came in. This is Reko from Mushihime-sama, the cave shooter game. I just happened to randomly find this online and I got it for a pretty nice price, especially when I looked it up. It seems like it's actually kind of rare. I think it came in a collector's edition of the game, perhaps, or maybe an arcade prize. On the back it does say not for sale and there's no UPC code anywhere on it. So I was going to open it and just put it on my shelf, but now that it's kind of like a expensive collectible, I'm not sure if I'm going to open it or not. But I love that game. Mushihime-sama is one of the best sort of modern shooters. I think it's from 2003. Go play that game. It's on Steam. It's on the Switch. It's awesome. One of the best shooters ever. Okay, so those are all my pickups for the last 3 months. Let me know if you like any of these games or if you picked any of them up yourself. This is actually a lot of stuff for me. I don't usually buy this many games, but I found a lot of good deals so far this year. I've got a lot of games on my list that I want to get in the coming year, so look forward to more pickup videos. Thanks, bye-bye.